Thanks, Steve. The stimulus bill, the energy bill, and now the health care bill. They're thousands of pages long, like this one right here on our table. And Americans and lawmakers alike are all wondering, is anyone actually reading them? Well, now there's a new push to require that legislation be available online for all of us to read at least 3 days before a vote. Congressman Greg Walden is the co-sponsor of this new bill, and he's my guest this morning. Good morning to you, Congressman.
Good morning, Gretchen. Good to be with you.
So my first question is, why do you think this is so important for the American public, or is it for members of Congress to read the bills?
It's for everybody. It's for you in the press. It's for the public. It's for members of Congress. You've got the bill. I've got the bill. It's too bad nobody had time to read the bill. This cap and trade bill, they had a 390-page amendment, got filed at 4:29 in the morning, the day we voted on it. 16 and a half hours to read this. You can't read a Tom Clancy novel that quickly, and you're supposed to understand this. This is a bipartisan effort, by the way. It's looking forward. Brian Baird, my Democrat friend from Washington State, and I are leading this effort to get the resolution out of the Rules Committee that would allow and require 72 hours for the press, the public, and the politicians to have a chance to read these bills online before they're voted on in the House. If there was one clear message out of all the town halls this summer, it was read the bills.
Yeah,
have you read the bills?
Yeah, and yet you still had very high-level politicians who sort of snarked at that, like, well, we never read the bills. And I think that woke up the American public. I mean, it was disgraceful, but it woke up the American public to say, isn't that your job? So is it their job? And do you think this will pass? I think it's interesting. It's an interesting climate because it probably would not have passed before. But will it pass now?
See, and this is where we're into hand-to-hand democracy out there in the grassroots. I think it has a great chance. We have 5 Democrats that have signed on our discharge petition. This is the petition to read the bill. We have a total of 173 members in 2 days. We need 218. So we need every member of Congress willing to stand up and say, you know what, it's time to reform this institution. We heard what people said at home. Let's have the chance for them, us, you, and the press to read the bills. You know, the other thing we should have is, maybe a hearing on these bills.
Oh, yeah.
Before we're asked to vote on them in committee. Wouldn't that be a good idea?
I do want to point out that the exception to this rule, if it passes, will be that if any information is classified, then you would not expose that and put that bill on the internet. But tell me your thoughts on transparency, because the Obama administration said they were going to be very transparent, and this speaks to me about transparency.
Well, there's nothing more important than transparency and accountability in government. It's lacking now. It's why people are so upset across this country. You know, I come from the state of Oregon. We required all of this sort of activity to be available to the public, a very public process. I talked to a city councilor in Bend, Oregon the other day. He said, you know, when we do a resolution, it's 3 weeks before it's voted on.
Right, no kidding. Well, maybe this will actually get people to read the bill. Congressman Greg Walden, thanks for being my guest this morning.
Hey, thanks, Gretchen.